So guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to more Celtic news, and funny enough, the transfer window has just closed, but we've got some big transfer news to discuss in today's video after Fabrizio Romano has wrote a very encouraging statement on his social media platforms for a Celtic signing. This one's an interesting one. I think it will split opinion across the fan base whether or not we're happy about this potential signing. For me, I'm favouring more towards it could be good for us. It could be good for us. But before we do get into the main stories in today's video, make sure you do drop a like on this video and of course subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content just like this. So of course the transfer story we are talking about is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now I covered this story probably the day before transfer deadline day. At that point it was just speculation, it was just rumours, and a lot of people in the comments didn't actually believe that this would actually happen. But here we are now, a few days later, and we have Fabrizio Romano 30 minutes ago putting this statement out on his social media platforms saying Celtic verbally agreed deal to sign Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, agreement in place over 6-month contract with also option to extend, included one more season. So I think given what this is, I mean, we don't know how much money he's on, but it probably isn't too much, or maybe it's a lot, but due to his contract length. But I'm pretty happy with this signing. I mean, it's a low-risk transfer, obviously depending on what his wages are. It does seem fairly low risk. It's not a long-term contract. It's a 6-month deal. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is coming to Celtic with something to prove. He's not kind of reached the heights that we thought he would reach when he was a youngster at Arsenal. Of course, he had a fairly decent career at Liverpool, but I guess he had a lot of injuries as well. And eventually, when he did leave, he was out in Turkey for a bit. So yeah, not being probably, I mean, he's won a lot of trophies, but I think individually as a player, he probably hasn't lived up to the hype that we thought he would when he was 18, 19 at Arsenal. But I think now, at this point in his career, this is a very good move for him. Of course, he was in Turkey. There was speculation that he was homesick, that he wanted to be closer to England, closer to home. Of course, Glasgow does give that opportunity for him and his family. Not quite home, but it's not as far as Turkey for sure. And I think this could be a good deal for us. A 6-month contract, it's a low kind of risk transfer here. And, if he has a good time with it, we can extend it for one more season as well. There's a lot of kind of question marks over it, I suppose, as well. People aren't too happy about it because he's like a big name. And a lot of the time when you sign these big name players, they don't actually kind of reach the kind of heights that you want them to when they join your club. I remember when Rangers signed Aaron Ramsey, for example, a few years ago. He didn't really reach the heights that they wanted him to do. So a lot of Celtic fans were kind of using that as an example. But I feel like if Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain can stay fit, he could be a good player for us. And again, he's got the experience as well. That's what he's really bringing to the table. He's got the experience. He's won a Champions League. He's won a league title in the Premier League. He's got a lot of experience. He knows how to win things as well. So for me, it's a low-risk transfer. I mean, hopefully the wages aren't too high. But here, like this man saying here, actually a sensible move given his European and Prem experience. So, I'm very happy with the actual transfer. But let's get into more details about it because I saw this article, actually, it was quite interesting. So Celtic were close to signing Timu Bakayoko before deciding to go for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, according to reports from L'Equipe. The French outlets say the midfielder was almost on his way to Glasgow after months without a club, only for Celtic to change their plan late on. So, Bakayoko has been without a team since leaving AOK last summer. After 6 months out of the game, Celtic became an option, and talks reportedly moved fast, and the 18-month contract was ready for the 31-year-old, a deal that would have ran until the end of the season, and at that stage, the move was nearly complete. It says the report says it was it had changed and Celtic looked again at a free agent market, and they chose to go with Oxlade-Chamberlain, of course, who was 32 years old. Now, personally, if we have to choose between those two players, I would choose Oxlade-Chamberlain. Bakayoko, his career has been on a downward trajectory for many years since his Monaco days when he won the Ligue 1. He went to Chelsea, I believe, and he stunk the place out. and since then he's just not really done anything with his career. So I think this is a better option. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, a player that's actually won things, a player that's got experience at Arsenal and Liverpool. And I'm very happy with that signing, actually. And it's, it's a low risk transfer as well. And he's read this thing here. Oxlade-Chamberlain has been keeping himself fit by training at Arsenal, where he began his career. So Oxlade-Chamberlain has been putting the work in behind the scenes. So, he's been rewarded with a great contract and a great opportunity at Celtic here. So I think that's one he'll definitely take on. Now, of course, back to the club as well. We got Dundee on Saturday, and it's going to be a big game for us. Of course, the Aberdeen game was postponed. But I saw this article, which I thought was quite interesting as well. Celtic interim chairman Brian Wilson has called for unity behind the team amid plans for some fans to boycott Saturday's Scottish Cup match against Dundee. So there's a lot of speculation about the fans come this fixture, if they'll be boycotting. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. I saw that and I thought it was worth mentioning as well. See how the attendance looks come Saturday for sure. But yeah, it's quite a weird one. Of course, we don't really discuss transfer news outside of the transfer window, but of course, given the fact that Oxlade-Chamberlain is a free agent right now, we can sign him up to a contract any time of the year, even after the transfer window closes, which is quite cool. But yeah, I think it's a very good option. Surprised there wasn't more kind of people looking at him. I feel like he is a good option for a lot of teams. He's got that experience. I guess the biggest question mark over his head is always going to be his fitness. Can he stay fit? Can he be kept out of the treatment room? Can we keep him, playing consistently? I think that's been the biggest issue of his career since he was a young lad, to be honest with you. But fingers crossed his time at Celtic will be good and not mauled with injuries or bad performances, because I know if we can get the player out of Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's a very, very good option for us. There was a couple of years at Liverpool where he was really good. And of course, when he was 18, 19 at Arsenal, he was breaking into the first team there, breaking into the England squad as well at 18, 19. So there's definitely a great player in there. It's just about, can we find him? And I do think Martin O'Neill is the perfect manager for that as well. I think, he probably would be the most likely of any Celtic manager to get the best out of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So I'm excited to see how it goes. But of course, as I mentioned at the start, the opinions are split. So let me know which side you are on. Is it a good signing? Is it a poor signing? Are you a bit unsure about this transfer business? Let me know down below in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you do like this video. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well for more content just like this. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.